Alright, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We are going on to game 2 of the series. It's going to be Terror versus Rams here in the TLS2. First, though, a quick shout out to our sponsors, of course, Razer and Twitch TV. They are the ones who allowed us to witness such an awesome game that we just saw, and hopefully a couple more awesome games from both of these guys. So yes, many thanks to them. Many thanks, of course, also to Team Liquid for organizing the tournament. And with that, let us move onwards to game number 2. Alright, at the 9 o'clock position as the Blue Protoss, one game away from the round of 8. We have Rams, and at the 5 o'clock position as the Teal Terran. Down a game, but not out. We do have Terror. So, we are now an outsider, which will hopefully provide some very, very interesting games. I think generally this, the matchup this affects the most is probably... Well, it's probably PvZ and TvZ. I'm not sure which one affects more. It does allow for some crazy plays in both those matchups. PvT, I don't think it really affects quite as much. Of course, you can still do, well, expanding to the back still does make you know, tank dropping behind mineral lines and, you know, Reaver dropping and that sort of thing a lot stronger. So, you know, as in all matchups, you know, dropping and stuff is going to be a lot more stronger on this map. And I guess carriers actually. Well, now that I think about it, actually, carriers, because of all these ring expansions, are also a lot stronger on this map. Of course, the middle is still quite open, so you can't just like walk across the map that easily. But yeah, maybe going for like fast Reaver harass into carriers is probably a good thing to do. You can tell I have no idea what I'm talking about. Anyway. Man, I'm also quite hungry. Because again, just like last week, I was like caught up playing Fire Emblem and just didn't even realize it was time to go. Like I was planning to, like, you know, have dinner at 7, right? And then an hour later do the cast, and it was like 7:30, and I'm still playing this level of Fire Emblem because I just can't beat it. And I suddenly realized it's time to go, and so I like quickly make dinner and didn't even finish it. But that's okay because I have a bowl of grapes. I have a bowl of grapes. Look, check it out. Check it out. Ready? Ready? Bowl of grapes. Look at that. Isn't that delicious? I got green and red today. Isn't that amazing? Yes. Variety is the spice of life. It's really sad that I can't see anybody talking now. It'd be really funny if Twitch was just trolling me. Like, everybody left and the viewer counter was just a fake. Oh no. That would be terrible. You know, I actually always wondered, like, how the old school casters felt when they made videos. You know, like the guys like, you know, Moletrap and Cholera and Diggity and Class Art. Because like YouTube commentary is so much different from live commentary. Like I love doing live streaming commentary because I can actually talk to people and directly and that sort of thing. But when you're doing a YouTube commentary, obviously everything is after the fact anyway, so you just can't actually talk to people live. Like you can talk in the comments, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem nearly as interesting to me. And a poor little probe guy dies without really saying too much. Terror has actually pulled 2 guys off gas this time, so it looks like he's doing it properly. Well, presumably he's going for a fast expand, in which case he's doing it properly. It'd be highly amusing, and, well, it'd be bad if he, you know, if he didn't pull guys to go fast expand, and he did pull guys to go 2-fact or something. That would be quite funny. Anyway, we still only have 1 gateway from Rams, and so he's going to block his ramp correctly here, so doing a good job there. Oh, he's got to be careful. Oh, ha, no chance. Get it. Well done. So, oh, it is going to be a Robo. I smell some Reavers are coming. Now, however, the main base isn't that easy to Reaver harass. I mean, it's got a lot of space around here. You know, you can run your dudes around, so that's not a big problem. The natural, of course, has this cliff behind it, but it's a cliff that's part of the main. So, like, it's actually not that easy. Wait a minute, is this... Okay, no, that is right. Sorry, for a second I thought the minerals looked a little bit weird there, but I think that's actually how it looks. I'm not actually that familiar with Outsider. Yeah, so basically there is a cliff behind it, but, you know, it's part of your main base. If you just put some turrets or put some dudes back here, it's fine. And of course, you can easily give yourself vision. So yeah, harassing the main and natural is actually not that easy. It's mainly the back expansions that are super easily harassable. So we got a spotting pylon now in the back of Ram's main. You can kind of see what I was talking about here. So, like for example, tanks can also cliff drop back here, but you know, you just kind of run back around in the main and deal with that. And it looks like we are going to have again a siege expand. Very interesting. So Terror doing the siege expand twice in a row. I don't know if this is the mark of like a comeback for the siege expand or if this is just Terror's thing. I'm a little bit surprised here. Meanwhile, though, it's actually not going to be Fast Reavers. It's actually just going to be 1-gate Ops expand. So Ram's actually playing this very, very safely. Remember last game, he went for a much riskier 2-gate expand, Robo, Observer, and then another expand. So it was essentially a 2-gate expand, but getting observers sort of along the way. Whereas this game he's going, you know, the Observer and then expansion, and then potentially a second expansion back here, but he doesn't have the probe there just yet. He's getting a second gateway first. So Ram's actually playing this, you know, a pretty textbook safe macro opening, if you will. You know, 1-gate obs, expand, additional 2 gateways, I would imagine. Yep, 2 gateways on the way. And that's pretty cool. Well, I mean, that's fine. That's good. It's, you know, it's by the book for a reason, because the book is usually right. The book usually has good builds, so it's a good idea to follow it. In the meantime, looks like Terra bringing a few dudes back. He's not sure what's coming, so he's going to just prepare in case there's some sort of drop incoming here. I mean, he's basically walled himself in, so he's not too concerned about a frontal attack, and is only concerned about any kind of drop. Meanwhile, Ram's continuing to do some really good pylon positioning around the base, just giving himself really good coverage, make sure there's no sneaky drops in his base, because I do think Terror does like to also go for vulture drops, you know, more so than other Terran players perhaps. In TVZ especially, he seems to love his vultures. Anyway, it looks like we got Armory and Academy going up, so I would imagine, again, Terra is going to go for some fast third base action, indicated by this quick Armory. No fast 2-base shenanigans from him. Meanwhile, Ram's going to go poke at the front here, just put on a little bit of pressure, see what he can see. You know, it's unlikely to really do too much, but at least it'll give, you know, make Terra sweat a little bit and maybe give him some idea of what's going on. For example, if he sees very few units, he might be a little bit suspicious that there's some kind of sneaky fast double expand or some sneaky drop incoming or something like that. And I guess if he pokes in now, he'll just see a command center straight away. This is a very weird position for command center. I don't understand this. Is Terra just going to move out to the middle? Surely not, because that's, I mean, there are mineral only bases in the middle, but as you can see, they're only 5-patch each, and they're really not that good. So I don't know why he would take that over, say, you know, one of these back mineral only expansions. I mean, I guess they have, these are like half value patches compared to the middle ones. I think the middle ones are full value. But even then, I don't really see the point of that. I guess we'll see. Anyway, looks like Rams is going to take his back base there. Oh, and we got fast arbiters. It looks like we've essentially got 2-base arbiter here into the third base. Ooh, very, very interesting. Now, this could actually be Rams actually sort of anticipating that Terra will play greedily. Of course, last game we did see that Terra got a pretty quick third, even on a map that wasn't good for that style. And Outsider is very good for being greedy, taking back expansions that are protected against ground attacks. So he's maybe hoping that, you know, Terra does actually go for a very quick third base. He can punish him with a fast recall or something like that. In the meantime, Vultures of Terra are just mining up all the bases that they can get to. Of course, they can't get through here. I wonder if he can mine push his Vultures through these minerals. I would imagine it's theoretically possible, but it seems like it'd be quite difficult in that arrangement. I'm not really sure. I don't know if it works the same way as pushing through buildings. I mean, I would assume it does, but again, I have no experience with such things. So it looks like we got a few goons just chilling in the middle. Gotta be a little bit careful. I do like having goons out on the map to, you know, stop vultures and make sure mines aren't just freely placed everywhere. But if you go out with too few goons and, you know, the Terran suddenly comes out with like 15 vultures and surrounds you with mines and kills you, that's actually a pretty big loss to lose, you know, 5 or 6 goons out in the middle of the map. It looks like he takes a mine hit anyway, which is not, not ideal. But he's mining away happily there. He does have his first Arbiter in production. Well, it would be in production, but he's supply blocked. And he actually has 7 gateways, so, you know, Rams is actually playing this, I would say, actually even better than he did last game. He's got the appropriate number of gateways, you know, he's got his Arbiter on the way. He's actually playing this really, really well. And meanwhile, Terror is actually going to take the middle base. That is such a weird thing. I don't think I've ever seen this kind of style on this map where you actually just go for the middle expansion. I mean, he's playing it as if that border expansions don't exist. He's playing this as if it's some other map where, you know, it's like a normal map, but it's not. And I don't really agree with this style because he's put himself in, I mean, look at this. He's in the middle of the map. This lava is all unbuildable, so he's really, really exposed himself to get like a little mineral only with 5 mineral patches. I mean, is that really worth it to expose yourself like this when you can take the back expansions at little risk? I mean, even if you consider arguments like, well, it's safer against Reaver drops or recalls. I mean, you know, a Reaver drop is pretty easily stopped by just putting a siege tank or 2 in the mineral line. I mean, they have way bigger range than Reavers. And the argument that it's better defense against recalls, I don't really know if that's true because the ground distance from this base to his main is not that much shorter from this base. In fact, it's actually longer. I mean, look at this. If he built a base here, the distance from here to his main is actually shorter than from here to his main. So if there was a recall on his main right now, I don't think he would be better defended. So I'm struggling to understand the benefit of doing this, something like this. Anyway, I guess we'll see. Oh, a little bit of shuffling going on. And looks like we got additional gateways. Man, Rams is really kicking on top of his macro this time. Really, really digging this. And he's also, look at this, he's clearing mines with a handful of goons. Like I said earlier, it can be risky if you get surrounded by vultures, but you know, generally it's a good idea to run around and clear mines. And he does actually have a second group of goons here as well, sort of supporting that first group. So I think that's fine. Looks like a scan goes off here somewhere to check for that base. In the meantime, again, Terra investing in a lot of anti-recall defense. I guess it's sort of justified this time, considering that it was 2-base Arbiter. In the meantime, with this 120 supply against 157, Rams in a pretty nice supply lead. And I don't know what Terra's long-term game plan is. He's going for the fast second armory again, but you know, again, this isn't really suited to that kind of style. He's not got a gas here. He's not got that many minerals, so he's not going to be able to get as much stuff as he would going for this style, this fast 3-base style on like Fighting Spirit. He's trying to make the Fighting Spirit build work, it seems, on every map, and that's just not how it works. You know, he tried to do it on Wind and Cloud and it sort of worked, and now he's doing it on Outsider as well, and it's not very good, to be completely honest. You know, you should fit the build to the map, not try and fit the map to the build, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If that makes any sense whatsoever. So in the meantime, we have Rams now taking the top right main. So he's not going to focus too much on the outside ring expansions either, but I think that's not terrible. The main base has a lot more resources than the ring expansions, so there is a legit, and also you can build more gateways here as well. So there is a legitimate reason for taking this base as the Protoss here. In the meantime, still no signs of another command center from Terra, even though he could easily just get one safely. I mean, now that he's got this base, you know, he's already got the anti-recall defense along here. I mean, why not just get this base? It's so nice and juicy. You can even just float it over here. In fact, I think he should float it over there so he has at least some more gas. And looks like Rams is just going to happily take that base. I mean, is that +1? Is he going carriers? He's getting +1 attack. I wonder if he's going to add a bunch of Stargates here and go carriers. Again, you know, carriers are pretty good on this map. Maybe not as much, considering Rams isn't really focusing on the ring expansions at all. But on the other hand, Terra kind of just left last game when he saw 7 carriers, so maybe Rams is like, hey, maybe if I make 7 carriers again, he'll just leave the game. Which is sort of legit, I guess. I mean, if it was Idra, he certainly would. But anyway. So looks like both players just poking around. I mean, Terra doesn't really want to move out until he has like 2-1 and a decent supply anyway. So he's got 1-1 now. His +2 is a little ways off. And this is actually a random recall into the back here. And I didn't even see the Arbiter moving in. And uh-oh, what's going on here? Ah! Yeah, so it looks like, yeah, Rams actually just sort of tried to avoid the anti-recall defense by recalling slightly off location there. He's moving in here, but I don't imagine it's going to do that much damage unless, like, the conga line of Vultures can't get back in the main. If he runs the Zealots in, he might be able to do a sick Mind Bomb on the Vultures, but not too sure about that. Oh. No, not really going to happen. So that's going to get taken care of fairly easily. But, you know, it does distract Terra. You can see it forced him to pull back a lot of units there. Did he sell it? Man, for a second I thought the Ragnasaur was a Zealot. That was pretty weird. But you can see, he's got this top right natural. Looks like Terra's going to be super obnoxious and just drop one Siege Shack there. And looks like he's got a second Siege Shack. He'll probably drop it behind this mineral line and just shoot it from the back, which is such a pain. But look at this! Rams is now moving in. He doesn't actually have very many units here because he used a lot of his units in the recall. So he's going to break a few of these tanks, but otherwise going to get pushed back here. Might be able to finish off the Siege Shack on the high ground here, although he's getting a little bit unlucky with the shots there, so the mischance does keep that tank alive. But in the meantime, you know, he's still doing okay. Terra, meanwhile, has this mineral only finally, but he's floating a little bit of money right now. And not very much gas. Meanwhile, Rams, falling behind in supply a little bit here, needs to get on top of that re-macro, needs to maybe get some more gateways. Looks like he's actually, he's transferred the probes away because there is that tank sieging him from the back. So Rams now is actually back down to 3 bases, while Terra's about to go up to 4. So this is slightly problematic. The Terran army is also moving up towards his top right main. I don't know what he's doing with his army, if he's just waiting for another recall. It looks like, oh, he's going for another recall. Here we go, going in the main base. Again, barely avoids the minefield, but again, I don't think this is going to do that much damage because as you can see, Terror is very well prepared for these recalls. Now, he knows that's what Rams is going for. And he's just, you know, always in position to defend, so I don't know if this is really the best game plan for Rams to continue, because now he's going to lose his top right main, and there's really nothing he can do about it. And this recall does essentially no damage. I don't know if he killed a few turrets, but like that was about it. He killed a few turrets, killed a depot here or there, but is that really worth it? I guess he supply blocks his opponent, but he just lost an entire base. And he's still not mining from this mineral only, so Rams now went from being in a decent position to suddenly being really far behind. Terra at 177 supply, Rams only at 134 with no gas to use and like no army. I don't really understand how this happened. You know, the recalls, I guess he just got way too invested in them. I don't think he realized how exposed this position is at the front, actually. He really should have just gone for a frontal attack, I think, instead of going for those recalls, because Terra was just way too prepared for those. So now Rams is in really rough shape. I don't really know what his game plan is now. It looks like he's just going to go for another recall. But again, you can see Terra just has everything there already, so I think this recall might just be his last hurrah. And when that fails, I'd imagine he'll type out. He might struggle a little bit more, but there's really not much he can do. So here we go. He's going in the main again. It's all or nothing here. There are still openings, but oh, is he going to hit the mines? He's not quite going to hit the mines, and there's the recall, but oh, he does take at least one mine hit. Oh, man. And again, look at this. All the units are back at home. So Rams recalls in and immediately runs away. Oh, no, he's going back in, but, you know, no real chance here. So Rams losing that recall. Terra's going to take this expansion that was his. Taking both the Protoss expansions now, as well as this base. He's got money to spare. Rams has actually tricked the probe through. He's taking the back expansion, which is a little bit silly. I mean, I guess, okay, he did actually switch into carriers. He did, exactly as I said, he built the Stargates here at this location at the back, switching into carriers. He's hoping that these carriers will win him the day, but he is unbelievably far behind, so these carriers are going to have to really do some magic now. Now the question is Terra going to predict this? He's not making Goliath still. He's got a handful, but he doesn't seem to expect the carrier switch coming, even though, you know, it's kind of what Rams did last game, and you know, why else would he be staying in this game, I guess? We've got 3 carriers now, 4th and 5th on the way. When the 5 carriers come out, I'd imagine he'd move out with them, but look at this. There's still, you know, like 8 Goliaths here or something. So it's still not, you know, that, it's not like there's completely no anti-air here. And I'm just trying to see if Rams is going to start making them. But it looks like Terror just with the attack, and Rams GG's. He knows he's got no shot. Carriers were not quite ready. And Terror will even it up 1-1. So we will go to a deciding game on Fighting Spirit, ladies and gentlemen. It is down to one game to see who's going to get out of the group in the first position. Will it be Terror or will it be Rams? Let's not go to an ad break. Give me a second to eat a grape and rejuvenate my strength. Excellent. Perfect.